Before we start the video, I just wanted to show my artwork that took around 3 weeks to make. It would have taken lesser, but I was having my internship as well, so I didn't really get a lot of time to finish it quickly. But this is my drawing. I plan to do this for every ending of any kind of series because it's just like a practice. Also, I plan to do outside like artwork as well. So keep a lookout for it. Thank you, and let's move on. Okay, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. My dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival. Mr. Sholmes, are you alright now? Alright, I'm all dropped. This guy. Sorry? I only just managed to summon strength to stand, man. I asked for the judge for 5 minutes. But I fear even that may prove too much for me. Pray forgive me should I pass out. Let's make this discussion as short as possible. Hurley, this place is full of idiots. None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is. Ah, well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of sport to assist me in my investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community, an oversight on my part. Right. Modesty, surely not. But enough of that. I'm here to give you this. My dear fellow. What's that? A lavender furoshiki wrapping. Suzato? A leaving present from Miss Suzato. From Miss Suzato? If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her this favor. I don't understand. Miss Suzato foresaw today's events, I believe. Hi? She knew that the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and underhand, and that you, Mr. Naruhodo, fighting fairly as you are wont to do, would find yourself in considerable peril. At that very moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel. Those were the dear lady's instructions. A leaving present from Suzato-san, whatever could it be? Oh! What is this? Oh! It's the machine I made. Ah! Wait, was the peeping hole not there even? It was made? Meow. Look, I used this. It's my latest invention. Oh, what is that? I call it the cat flapper mat. It can make cat flap for a little furry friend like Vaggie in seconds. Huh? Huh. What's Susie up to? Miss Sato muttered the following words before she left. I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant. Huh? What? Didn't she say something like that? You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry not to say that I have been a complete failure. Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Sholmes? Even I don't get it. That night, when you left Windybank in pursuit of the thieves, Miss Suzato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. Was it the contraption, or she made the peephole, or what? That is your answer, dear fellow. No, not at all cryptic then. Suzato-san used this cat flapper mat that night, but why? So if Suzato had made that means that it was not there before. And this guy is just making up stuff. Your 5 minutes is over. We're out of time already? Huh, Sholmes, could you just stick with us for the timing? I'm grateful to you for affording us that brief recess, Mr. Reaper. I need no thanks, Detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really? The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider the summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? The rest is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan? The rest is down to me? I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end badly. My lord, the defense requests further cross-examination, I think. Further cross-examination. Further cross-examination.
Objection!
The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now. The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness, rather to continue with one of an existing witness. What? It would appear that a rather important detail has escaped your attention, Mr. Reaper. My lord, requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Thank you, officer. Very well, the cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I presume you have no objection, counsel? No, my lord. Then nobody can see anything then. If Bruno asks to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Graydon, the court is obliged to allow it. This is absurd. Dude, she made that peephole. God damn it. I would remind those present that this is my courtroom. I concur that defense is entirely within its right to request the continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding the cross-examination. Counsel, you must choose but one statement from the witness testimony and but one piece of evidence to present in support of your argument against it. A single chance to present evidence? If following that the situation remains unchanged, I shall move to abjudication. Is that clear, counsels? You will not press the witness any further. My lord. Yes, my lord. A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's high time I fell in a dead faint. I leave this in your capable hands. Bro, dude. Mr. Sholmes! Yeah, Sholmes. It was that. I know that was bad, but that was funny. To stand so insouciantly before the court in a state of such high fever, either the man has extraordinary strength of mind or an extraordinary lack of feeling. I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers. Strike a man when he's down, why don't you? Well then, counsel, are you fully prepared? Hopefully. Yes. One statement, one piece of evidence. I won't let Mr. Sholmes down or Iris. Come on. And I won't waste this final chance that Sato-san has given me. This is going to decide the entire outcome of the trial. Very well then, under the terms I have outlined, you may resume the cross-examination. Okay. What? Which one? Save. Oh god. Look, the music changed as well. While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Windy Bang threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. I think it's this one. The accused in a black coat shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood splattered all over the wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. I think it's this. Present. This.
Objection!
I think it's this. What on earth is that eccentric contraption, counsel? Ooh, it's my cat flapper mat, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of a room. It can cut through any door you can think of and make a new little door in the middle of it. That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please without their owners having to open the main door. I'm sure we can all work that out for ourselves. Ah, but that cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance to this case. Wait, I have a question though. If Zato had made that peephole, how did he know? Or maybe he was in the dark as well, probably. Oh really? Of course it doesn't to start with. There was no cat flap in the pawnbroker's store. Not being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid I fail to see what this has to do with the matter at hand. Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine in practically no time at all. I beg your pardon, a peephole you say? 2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Mr. Windybank had taken place. That's right, according to the paperwork at the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Sholmes. Yes, the 3 of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time. Your assistant did what? There was a peephole in the storeroom door. I can attest to that. Because I looked through the peephole myself in order to see inside the locked storeroom. This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say? Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed the crime for pity's sake? Yes, how could you? What? Counsel, kindly say what you mean. Alright, it's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through. What? No! Oh no! Yes, my peephole theory was there, but it was not exactly like mine. This is a farce. Are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door was... Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place by my judicial assistant using this device. Your assistant tampered with the crime scene whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her actions. This is a most serious act of vandalism, for which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in the few minutes that I left the scene in order to pursue the Skulkin brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in the light of this new information, it becomes apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes. Riddled with... Explain yourself, counsel. The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant is based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door. Yes, that filthy girl shooting the man in the back. However, if at the time of the incident, that peephole did not yet exist in the door, then how the hell did you find out? There's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to have seen. Grr. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies. Let's drink some beers to congratulate Rinosuke. Order. Is there any credence in this revelation?
Objection!
None whatsoever, as my learned friend must surely realize. Exactly, this is some cheap trick designed to discredit me. I'm afraid not, sir. Of course it is. Do you seriously expect people to believe that plaything can cut through a solid wooden board? Do you want a demonstration right now? I can do that. Oh yes, I designed it to be very powerful. It can cut through even the toughest of doors. That's absurd. I don't believe it for a second. Ha, I had a feeling you'd say that. What? Waggy, Cooey, time for dinner. Oh, she already made a hole. Oh, that's so funny. Meow. Well, young lady, this is the Old Bailey. One does not make cat flaps in the oak paneling at the Old Bailey. I'm not done yet, don't worry. This doesn't mean that the people in the storeroom door at Windybanks was made by a machine. And there's no way you can prove that it was. No? But it's easy. What? I don't know how it's proved. The cat flaps my cat flapper-mat creates are all of a fixed size. Okay. It was, I thought of that, but I thought it was like, okay, whatever. And the dimensions of the peephole at Windybanks are an exact match. Hee. Old Silky is lost for words. Excellent work, Iris. Thank you. And now it's my learned student friend's turn to be lost for words, I feel. I believe your judicial assistant has already left the country for your Eastern Island home. Well, yes, that's true. Then you may have some difficulty in establishing all of the facts. For the sake of argument, let us assume the people have dimensions that are a perfect fit for this contraption. In that case, when was the peephole cut? The prosecution demands proof of your answer. Ugh! What is the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Van Zeeks? It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the peephole was created after the incident using this device. But now that the perpetrator has returned to her native land, she cannot testify to the fact. There is no proof. Wait. Ugh! And for as long as the defense remains unable to prove when the peephole was made, my learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation. Yeah, I thought this would be a case as well. Like, how do we tell that it was made after? Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zeeks. Well, counsel, Don't give up now, Bruno. This is the time to create your own opening and force your way through. I don't know if I can do this, but I do know one thing. Sato-san is the greatest judicial assistant in the world. Very well, the counsel for defense will present evidence to support the claim made. Proof that the peephole in the door of Windybank's storeroom was created after the event and not before. Shit, how the fuck am I gonna do that? How the hell? Is there something over here? I genuinely cannot tell. Oh yes, 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 yes. I think it's this, right? Present.
Take that!
Okay. The defense believes this is all the proof that court should need.
Objection!
Then defense is extremely hopeful. That proves nothing. Oh wait, do I have to show the other picture? Oh god, are you kidding me? I want to show me that people was created after Mr. Windybank was killed, but I have no idea how to do that. Don't be disheartened, Bruno. You can rely on Suzy. Rely on Miss Sato? What do you mean? Well, she would have left you in the lurch, would she? You can be sure she thought of a way to prove what you're being asked to prove now. So there must be some evidence in the court record somewhere that will do the trick. I know, but I chose the wrong picture. Alright, then if the point is to prove that the peephole was made after the incident, then it would suffice to show that the peephole wasn't there before the incident took place. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to present a different piece of evidence instead. Very well, the counsel of the defense will present evidence to support the claim made.
Take that!
Okay. What are you? A print from the detective's infernal cameras again? My judicial assistant, Miss Sato Mikotoba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman, which is why I never had any cause to doubt that she would have considered this scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof. And the necessary proof is this photographic print, counsel. This print shows the scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the premises. Agreed. And it also shows the accused mercilessly wielded a gun in the direction of the defense's broker. But, more to the point, it pictures the storeroom door in the background. Let me see that print again. I don't believe it! This really is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom is completely devoid of a peephole of any description. Mr. Graydon, you couldn't possibly have witnessed the crime as you claim to have done, because at the time it happened, there was no peephole in the door. In other words, your testimony is a catalogue of lies.
She was a fairy.
Let's go! Order, order, order! I'm satisfied that the defense has substantiated its claim beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness's testimony was entirely fallacious. So please don't believe him. That's not the only thing we know now. We now know beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with the crime scene. But she is out of the country. But more importantly, good lord, there's more, Lord Van Zeeks. Defense may have established a reprehensible instance of perjury. But that is no proof that this man is the victim's killer. Yes, that's right. What? I was there at the scene. It's true. And I was shot in the arm. It's true. That's all. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I am the victim here. Oh, please. No! I don't believe this. But they're right, as it stands now. I don't have any definitive proof that he is the culprit. Still, he can't worm his way out of it now. Iris, you know what they say. There's no point locking the cat's door after the cat has boarded. Isn't that right, Bruno? As Hurley always says, one lie begets another. No, wait, that might have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories. Well, no matter who said it first, you're right. Man, Iris is such a good support system for a 10-year-old Mr. Graydon. Not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told make no sense. Make no sense? What do you mean by such a remark? What you said in your testimony, I don't remember what you said, reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there is a fundamental inconsistency in your statements. What?
Objection!
This is provocative talk, counsel. Won't you enlighten the court? Explain this alleged inconsistency. You wouldn't have known that Gina was there probably? Iris was right. One lie begets another. The inconsistencies revealed by the lies in the witnesses' statements. They show that Mr. Graydon had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known anything about. Namely, the bloodstains on the coat. I'm gonna save again. Bloodstains on the coat. The bloodstains that were present on Miss Lestrade's coat. That's right, the victim's blood spattered all over her when she shot him. But how could you possibly have known that? Obviously, because I saw her do it through the peephole in the... The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing. You're not making any sense. Then let me ask you a simple question. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew of the existence of the peephole in the storeroom door? What? Well, obviously I... Has the cat caught your tongue, witness? The peephole in the door was made after the incident occurred. He was in the room. And once I returned to the shop, having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. No, but how can he be in the room? Since that time, the police have been at Windy Banks constantly carrying out the investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson? Well, yes, of course. The place is chock full of pawned articles and my lads have to thoroughly examine them all. So I gave the order to have officers working around the clock in shifts so we get through it all. And consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the people in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence forms the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable.
Objection!
And yet the fact remains that Mr. Graydon did maintain that he witnessed the crime take place through the peephole in the door. How on earth is that possible? Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Zeeks? Speak, Inspector. It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station now to put in my report. There's really nothing more I can add to this testimony, so if it's all the same to you... Permission denied. Oh. It's not all the same to me, Inspector. Not at all. You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes. Of course, sir. Mr. Graydon. You shouldn't have known about the existence of that peephole. Which can only mean that you must have been informed about it by somebody else.
Objection!
Stop there, my learned friend. You realize, I trust, that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications? Yes, but the defense believes the details about the case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. And in fact, considering a particular clue we have, there's really only one person that could be. Gregson. Who is the person in question, counsel? I think it's Gregson. Who gave this witness details of the crime scene to facilitate his false testimony? Okay, like look at it. It can't be Zato because he's not here. Sholmes is dead. Iris is with me. Pop Windy Bang is dead. Gina is the accused. It could be Lord Strongheart as well. But I feel like it would most likely be Tobias Gregson because they've been talking, and even during that time in the thing. But I think the head of this whole thing is Strongheart for sure. I think it's him.
Take that!
The truth is, it can only have been you, Inspector Gregson. Eh? Me?
Objection!
You had better have some proof to substantiate such a rash claim, my learned friend. Consider the fact that we have only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We learned of it only during the course of the trial today. Indeed, preparations for his testimony were made with great urgency during our hour-long recess, while the police executed the subpoena and brought the man here from the communication station. And until that time, Mr. Graydon would have had no idea, no inkling that he would suddenly be required to appear in court. Are you suggesting that until such time as he was summoned? Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the peephole. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position, that he would have to defend himself against the accusation that he was the third intruder. You're suggesting to the court that it was while this trial was in progress that he received the information, so that he could commit perjury in order to save his skin? Exactly. And the only person who with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson. This is a blooming outrage. Why would I be giving away details of our investigations to this fellow, eh? I was summoned to his lordship's chamber during the recess in any case. Had you forgotten that? Quite true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery. Which means the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after proceedings resumed following the recess. Since then, they had been in full view in the stand where such illicit discussions couldn't possibly have occurred. No, it occurred. They were talking to each other. Oh, I've just remembered something, Bruno. What is it, Iris? There was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Ginny was testifying. Oh yes, now you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to retrieve McGilded's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it. It was during the testimony. Yeah, that's what I've been literally I saw them and they were like, why the fuck are they talking? I remember finding it strange at the time. Mr. Graydon and the inspector seemed to be having some kind of secret discussion. It would have been impossible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed them. You little Torak, you're making all of this up. I'm a respectable Scotland Yard inspector, for crying out loud. Why would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke? Admittedly, you wouldn't have had any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it was part of a deal of some kind. Then it starts to make more sense. What deal, counsel? I wonder if perhaps in exchange for details about the people at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector. The disc! I'm sure I need not remind the inspector that if found to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross case of malfeasance. Well, I...
Objection!
It's becoming clear that jumping in with accusations is this Nipponese student's speciality. I don't do that. But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges. It is incumbent on the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim. Evidence? Just what are you proposing that the inspector demanded of the witness in return? The court must see proof of this alleged deal. It's the second disc. If Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Graydon, then logically, there's only one thing he could have asked for. That must be it. Bruno, do you think it could be? Yes, it's the missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle. I must press you for an answer now, counsel. What evidence explains the nature of the alleged deal that Inspector Gregson made with the witness? I must save, and I think it's the music box.
Take that!
Yep. Inspector Gregson, besides this murder, is it not true that you have been working on another very important case? What are you getting at now, Sunshine? Is it possible that this other top secret case is what's alluded to in this newspaper article here? The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice. How the bleeding Nora could you? We discovered during the course of this trial the music box deposited at Windy Banks by Magnus McGilded, a special music box designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that encoded on the pair of discs that were in McGilded's possession are the leaked classified secrets. So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing these secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged the disc for details of the case. You little... Ah! Gregson, fuck you. You've literally ruined my life. Order. On the day of the incident, when we met you at Windy Banks, you said this. I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGilded down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over. No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is. Mine. I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now. Scotland Yard already knew at the time, isn't that right? That Magnus McGilded was involved in the stealing of government secrets. My orders were recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry and do it on the QT, strictly hush-hush. And that explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume? Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information. Blimey, not likely. I mean, I wasn't that sure of it myself. I realized that there was a possibility, that's all. Inspector, surely you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of these music box discs, you did indeed reveal confidential details of the crime scene to the witness? To aid and abet this man in giving false testimony? There is no other way that Mr. Graydon could have known of the existence of the peephole. It's the only explanation a deal was struck between these two men. No! You know, Gregson, I think you should go to jail as well.
Objection!
If, and I stress if, this sobering assertion turns out to be founded in truth, it would mean that the second disc is, as we speak, here in this very courtroom. Wait, what? In this room? How could you possibly make a claim like that? Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective. What? What's that supposed to mean, eh? As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have to approach this alleged deal with caution. Certainly he would not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand. Good gracious, then you mean to say Inspector Gregson already has the item in question in his possession? He has the second disc actually on his person? The defense demands that the inspector is searched at once. Definitely, they could only have struck a deal with each other when Ginny was testifying before, and Crexy hasn't moved from the witness stand since. My lord, please order an examination of his personal effects immediately. Well, Inspector? Gregson, why are you doing this? Genuinely. For a fucking disc, you would make someone else go through a guilty verdict? This young lad wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me and my profession quite enough. Oh no. However, it will put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, and I'll happily submit to a body search. What? He's going to agree to it? He's hidden it somewhere. I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you now teeter, my learned student friend. You made a most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here. If, following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service, this trial will end, and my country's government will formally demand of yours that you're severely reprimanded. That sounds serious. Are you kidding me? Indeed, to have a visiting student make such defamatory remarks about our country's most senior police force is not something Her Majesty's government will be able to overlook. You're just threatening Bruno because you're scared. The accusation is beyond serious. You must be prepared for grave consequences. It's true. I can't imagine Jackson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. The disc must have physically changed hands, which means an inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here. Very well, Counsel, you know the implications, so let me ask you one final time. Yes, my lord. Do you still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's personal effects? Search someone else, but I don't know who this someone else. Wait, it could be. It could be. Wait. It could. People. It could be him. It could be Nash Skulkin. He was shaking him. Remember? Maybe. I think it's so. I think so. Search someone else. Yes, the defense formally demands the search be conducted. Wait, let me save. There is no way he shaked him for no reason. Defense formally demands the search be conducted. Well, don't say you weren't warned, but your typical Nipponese stubbornness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps the lesson will do you some good. Fair enough, I've got nothing to hide. Very well then. Bailiff, conduct a search of the inspector's personal effects, please. Oh shit. The defense demands a search, but not of Inspector Gregson. What? Now what's all this? I'm the one you're accusing, aren't I? I thought you wanted to search me. No, Inspector, not you. Somebody else. What's the meaning of all this, eh? Lost it at last, have you, sunshine? The court shouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. You're being completely irrational. Dude, you're swearing bullets. That means I'm right. Be quiet, all of you. Oh, Iris! Bruno's doing what you all told him to do and having the courage of his convictions. So you should respect and listen to what he has to say in good faith. Because that's the British way. Well said, young lady. Indeed, this court is in awe of the defense counsel's conviction and eagerly awaits his next words. You what? Now don't be hasty, my lord. If I am not mistaken about the things I've seen in court today, I'm fairly sure that I know who has that disc at the moment. There's only one person it can be. Counsel, of whom do you request this search now? It's him. It cannot be anybody else but Nash Skulkin.
Take that!
Okay. Of my lord, Mr. Nash Skulkin. Well, I never. Eh? Blimey? Me? Him? Very well then, bailiff. Restrain the witness and conduct a thorough search of his personal affairs. Please, my lord. Inspector, the Scotland Yard has to object to this search.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, Inspector, your objection carries no weight here. Eh? In this courtroom, only the prosecution and defense have the authority to object. But Lord Van Zeeks, I have no idea what forces are in play that might influence your actions. But personally, I have no intention of obstructing the course of this trial. Bailiff, carry out the search. I'm sorry, Nash Skulkin. Now, hold on a mo. I don't know nothing. Nothing about no disc. Cut it out! Here, my lord. In the witness's pocket. I found this. Good lord, that's another music box disc. I don't know nothing about it, nothing. Well, you're cooked. That is the second music box disc left behind by Magnus Mikkeldid. Is it not, Inspector Gregson? Why? Why are you trying to fight with me, Gregson? Order, order, order! Mr. Skulkin, what have you to say for yourself? Gordon Benet, I mean just Gordon Flaming Benet. I swear I didn't know nothing about that disc. Honest to God. Counsel, would you please explain what exactly is going on here? While he was shaking, he probably threw it in his pocket. The alleged deal that was struck was between this witness and this detective, no? Without question, my lord. Then, for pity's sake, why on earth was this man in possession of the disc that the inspector traded for information? Inspector Gregson is a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure. But at one particular point in this trial, he exhibited some unusual behavior for a brief moment. I don't recall what unusual behavior. Ah! It was, yes, during my cross-examination of Mr. Graydon. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket? I admit to nothing of the sort. While Mr. Graydon answered my questions, the inspector appeared to have grabbed Nash Skulkin by his coat and was shaking him violently. Yeah, he did it and all. Thought me knocking was gonna fall clean off, I did. I was wishing I'd been born as me brother, I was. And what exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that? I ain't got a clue. He just suddenly turned and grabbed me whistle like whistle like that and started shaking me. Why the blazes didn't you mention the third gun when you got to down station? That's what he said. He has it right down my ear hole, he did. My head's still throbbing now. The way the detective behaved then was extremely out of character. But looking back now, it must have been then that he did it. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created for himself in order to hide the disc. Well, bless my wig, he hid it? You... But I'm afraid I fail to comprehend the motive here. If the detective had acquired the disc he was after, why on earth would he then proceed to hide it in another man's pocket? This is a court of law. He could have submitted the item as evidence. It would appear, my lord, that the inspector was not at liberty to do that. Why ever not? As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment has some special conditions. My orders were: recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on the QT, strictly hush-hush. Hush-hush, a top-secret assignment, is it? As far as we're aware, the information stolen comes from confidential government communications. It would seem that if the information were to be revealed in court as evidence, it would be problematic. Does that sum up the situation, Inspector? I am operating under direct orders from the ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question. So, realizing there was a chance that you may be searched here in court, you took steps to hide the disc you had acquired from the witness. Ah, does this mean he only pretended to attack Mr. Skulkin in order to get close enough to him to slip the second disc into his pocket? So it was all a pretense? Well now, Inspector Gregson, and you, Mr. Graydon, are you prepared to admit to the accusation made against you of this alleged deal? You still have some fight to it. Admit to it, yours truly, please. Mr. Graydon! Clearly our Eastern Western visitor has an uncommonly active imagination. However, there is no proof that I passed the disc to the inspector.
Objection!
But then, how do you explain the reason why you knew about the peephole? I am under no obligation to explain. Why not? Bro, you need to... What? Yes, I lied in my testimony. That I admit. So sentence me accordingly. But that is all I admit. Murder, leaking government secrets, striking a deal with a detective. All of it is this young Eastern man's fancy. I have no idea what any of that is about. You... What? Huh? I'm confused. Well, what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you admit to making a deal with Mr. Graydon in order to acquire the disc? He will not admit it. Ladies and gents of the jury, as a Scotland Yard inspector, I will declare this and nothing more. I am acting in the best interest of the country. Whatever I have done, it's been in the name of justice. No, it was not in the name of justice. So, as members of the public of this fine country, I like to think that justice will be your guiding light when you're making your decisions. Bro, you're such a piece of shit. This is quite a quandary indeed. Rarely have I encountered such extraordinary tumultuousness in the concluding of a trial. Nevertheless, in the absence of any further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time that we put the matter to the jury for their final leanings. Well now, as a fellow servant of Queen and Country, I must say I sympathize with the old inspector. Oh, these old farts are going to kill me, literally. Yes, he's a dependable man, I'm quite sure. In service, one becomes a good judge of character. You know, I think this game also teaches a lot about how, like, general public's, obviously they've said this before, but the general public's opinions like shift so quickly that it, like, you don't even, like, you know, they don't even have like a, they get swayed so easily by like just a simple like maybe like a contradiction, like a minor contradiction, like without like actually thinking too deeply into it, which is very, you can see that a lot in Twitter as well. And that it's just that the human mind is not that trustworthy in most cases. Like like eyewitness testimonies, that's why they have a lot of like eyewitness testimonies which turned out to be false, but they genuinely believe that it was what they saw, but it actually wasn't what it is. So yeah. Oh god. Even crossing your eyes doesn't help when it comes to looking at this case. It's all blurred to me. Well, as a fellow professional, I like to put my faith in the detective, really. Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop, currently in presence of idols. Stop. Detective has very much trust in eyes. More than this, I cannot say. I don't believe it. These 6 jurors are...
You are made of stupid.
They're going to believe Gregson if they declare the decision now. Is Ginny going to be found guilty? If I don't manage to produce some definitive evidence right now, then we're going to lose. I just prove that Graydon killed Mr. Windybank or stole their government secrets. Or someone evidenced to force Gregson into admitting that he struck a deal with the witness. Well then, counsel, I think it's time to I impose on the jurors to declare their final decisions, no? That is, unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented it to the court. If I let the judge call on the jurors to announce their dealings, Gina will be found guilty. So there's no choice then, Bruno. You have to throw some more evidence at them. This is it now. It all comes down to this. Who do I present evidence against, Gregson or Graydon? Oh, dude! Don't make me choose. Oh, maybe I can do it to Inspector, and I threaten him with the music box, saying like, here, if you do not say that you strike a deal, that we would play this music box. Maybe. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do that. I'll maybe talk to Inspector Gregson. Inspector Gregson, there is one final piece of evidence I would like you to see. Eh? What's that then? If you refuse to acknowledge that you did in fact strike a deal with the witness here today, then you leave us no choice but examine this piece of evidence thoroughly. Yes! Well, go on. This is my last chance. It looks like I'm gonna have to force his hand here. One final piece of evidence to get this detective to admit to the deal he clearly struck with Graydon. Yes. It's probably this, right?
Take that!
Oh, I was right. It was Inspector Gregson. Is that Mr. McGillicuddy's peculiar music box, counsel? Yes, with a disc already in place, ready to play. I think perhaps now would be a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Only this time, with the second disc we've just discovered set in place as well. Goodness, this disc, counsel. No, wait, I can't let you do that. Why not? Because, because it's got nothing to do with this case. That's why.
Objection!
Not true, Inspector. Eh? The defense has already proposed that the sounds heard by the court earlier from this music box were part of a Morse code message. We know that Morse code comprises of two distinct tones. The defense believes that the second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message, and now we have a chance to confirm that theory. For crying out loud, Sunshine, we're talking about state secrets here. If you go letting the whole courtroom hear confidential information like that, it's treason. Then do you admit the charge? Then in order to protect those state secrets, you engage in unlawful dealings with the witness. You're mad. If you let that secret information out into the public domain, you'll be making an enemy of the entire British government, you idiot.
Objection!
Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to a witness. That you continued to lie to the court, and all because by fair means or foul, you're determined to do your duty. Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine. Oh, let's go, Renowski! Both of us such a good line. Don't you dare! I will stop at nothing to protect my client. I don't care who I make an enemy of. And bro's like, I am loving this drama, or I'm hating this drama. Van Veeks is like, huh? My lord, if you please. The court must hear the sounds made by that music box. Come on, Van Veeks, for Pete's sake, stop him!
Objection!
Van Veeks, come on. Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I am a prosecutor. I am no Scotland Yard puppet. In this courtroom, my duty is to the law, so let me propose a toast to uncovering the truth. By fair means or foul. Let's go, Zeeks is coming with me, come on. Very well, the defense stands here and that of the prosecution has been made very clear, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request, the court will now listen as this music box is set in operation once more. This time with the second disc in place and both discs playing simultaneously. Let's go! Wait, he's not gonna stop it. I do want to know what this information is. Oh, listen to that. It's unmistakable now. It's Morse code. Hold it. Alright, I admit it. Whatever you want. But for the love of God, shut that blooming box up. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Let me ask you again then, Inspector Gregson. Did you or did you not strike a deal with the witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Ashley Graydon? Specifically, did you furnish the witness with confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc? Did you reveal the existence of the peephole in the pawnbroker's storeroom door, Inspector? I did. Stop! What are you doing, man? It's all exactly like the young Eastern lawyer said when the trial resumed after the recess and we were stood here in the stand together. That's when he approached me with the deal. Shut up, you imbecile! Shut up! You there. You're the detective who turned up at the pawnbrokery the other day, aren't you? I may have something you're looking for, Inspector, with me at this very moment. So how about a trade? I suggest you accept. Or information that may make certain individuals uncomfortable will soon become very public indeed. I couldn't let that information become public knowledge, not under any circumstances. So I accepted the man's proposal and told him details about the case that should have put him in the clear. The peephole in the storeroom door and the bloodstains on the overcoat. By giving false testimony, this witness intended to have the defendant wrongly accused of murder. Inspector, you knew that. Yet you still revealed these details to facilitate the witness's perjury. I did. But then it turned out the peephole had only been made that night after the incident took place. Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, if I'm perfectly honest. Well, Mr. Graydon, what do you have to say for yourself? There's nothing and no one left for you to hide behind. You struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a very serious crime, namely this. You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And you perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Pop Windybank. You. Oh my god. Traitor! Oh, he's choking Mr. Gregson. Don't kill Mr. Gregson. What the fuck? Bailiff, restrain that man at once. Gregson, you okay even though I don't really like you now? That's it then. It's all over. Manseeks, don't say anything, please. Manseeks, don't say anything, please. Manseeks, don't say anything, please. Okay, we chill. I despised my life growing up. Those slums are wild places. I was cursed from birth, born into poverty, son of a penniless artisan. My parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. What little money they had was never spent on me. So I set about studying to better myself, to one day escape from that hellhole. And you eventually became a communications officer. I admired your determination. But then you decided to try to sell the government secrets? Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money. Even now, years later, the nightmares of my life in the slums wake me in the small hours. Okay, trauma that led to way more traumatic stuff. I wanted to drown them out with more money than anyone who lived in that squalor could ever imagine. Then one day, I met him. Mr. Magnus McGilded. You're a fiend with the square talent you are. I've money to throw your way if you're interested. All you need to do is go along with me little plan now. I was to steal the ministry's telegraphic messages logs and McGilded would buy them for a handsome sum. As I was responsible for inspections of the ministry's communications office, it was a simple enough task. The lure of the devil's offerings, how easy it is to succumb. But you must surely have realized the seriousness of the crime you were committing. And for that reason, I took great lengths to ensure that my actions were untraceable. By using the music box. My father was a brickmaker, though my mother divorced him when I was still a child. Yes, Mr. Mason Middleton. That's right, he was very skilled with his hands. He once been a music box maker's apprentice. I imagined his skill would be sufficient to create a machine that would generate Morse code. So I sought out my father again to employ his services. It was the first time I'd seen him since I left the slums 10 years earlier. Look at you, Ashley. What a fine gent you've become, eh? He was a different man to the one in my memory, a thin, frail old man. But poverty had never broken him, never corrupted him like it had me. I was sure that he wouldn't help me if I told him the real reason. So I made up a story. I've got some work for you, father. I need some music box disc made. Oh my god, I feel so bad for Mason. Great. What was his name again? I don't remember your name. I'm sorry. Ashley, oh god, why did you do this? Music box disc, eh? A musician friend of mine has written some music he wants to sell to the public. I've brought the score with me. There are 2 actually. I'll be delighted, son. It's been 20 years since I did any work like this, though. Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft. You should feel very guilty for what happened to your dad. Very, very guilty. It should stay in your mind forevermore. That's how I had to make the 2 discs, thereby splitting the information in 2. We were taking considerable precautions indeed. It was to protect myself as much as anything. It meant that I could deal with McGilded in 2 separate transactions. The first involved the first of the 2 discs and the music box for playing them. I exchanged them with McGill did for 10 guineas. 10 on receipt of the second disc, he would pay 1,000 guineas. So, what happened on the omnibus 2 months ago? Was the second part of a deal? The exchange of the second disc? Yes. I sold the man information that way a number of times already, but it seems he became reluctant to part with his money. But that doesn't quite make sense, Mr. Graydon, for why was it that on the omnibus 2 months ago, your father, Mr. Milverton, was the one dealing with Mr. McGilded and not yourself? When I received 1,000 guineas after my first completed dealings with McGilded, I decided to give 200 to my father for his troubles. But my father realized something was amiss. In time, he worked out that I must be involved in something dubious. And when he did, he said to me, "Next time there's an exchange, you'll let your old man do it, understand? Otherwise, I won't take your money anymore." That was my father's way of dealing with it, I suppose. Climb into the omnibus, hand over the second disc, and take the money from McGilded, that's it. He had no idea what was actually on the disc I asked him to make. He never knew. Just like that, I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. Okay, even we don't know why McGilded killed him. All I know is that the disc was taken from him and he never returned home. It was only then that I found out what sort of monster McGilded really was. After 10 years of not once uttering it, I swore on my father's name to exact revenge. Revenge? As anyone with even the remotest knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine, McGilded brought all his wealth and influence to bear in the most despicable of ways to crush any semblance of justice in his trial. The crime scene was tampered with, evidence was fixed, and witnesses were bribed. That trial 2 months ago was a farce from start to finish. My feet had barely touched British soil back then, and I walked into that hornet's nest completely unaware of the sinister background to it all. I made plenty of money out of my dealings with McGilded by then, so I spared nothing in my arrangements 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. If you're willing to pay the price, there are people in this city willing to do anything you ask. McGilded himself has shown me that. Are you saying that? I think you have the picture now. After he twisted everything to his favor in this courtroom to ensure that he walked free, I took matters into my own hands and delivered the justice that monster deserved. At least you did one thing right. That tragic accident following the trial here 2 months ago was planned and executed by yours truly. McGilded's death that day was caused by this man. Everything is ready, sir, if you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. What's this, officer? It's this sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. It's time for the inspection. They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. That policeman who came to tell McGilded he could examine the omnibus again. That's right, an imposter, hired by me. McGilded used his wealth to manipulate the trial. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manner of false evidence. He threatened witnesses to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was doused in paraffin, one of my sham policemen ushered McGilded inside and sent him on a one-way journey to hell. It is what it is. I think he deserved it. An eye for an eye. That's how I avenged my father's death. A spine-chilling account indeed. But that wasn't the end of it for me. There was a loose end, you see. A loose end? Yes, I should think it's obvious. The second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with McGilded. Ah, yes. There was indeed no mention of it in the man's trial 2 months ago. Clearly because it had been removed from the scene of the crime. When I realized it was missing, I remembered something. Something from the first time he dealt with McGill did. Yeah. This is the first of the two discs, and the music box you need to play them. Well, look at that now. What an ingenious little invention. So then, as promised, 10 guineas for you, young man. What's this? Windy Bank's pawnbrokery? Aye, this is a pawnbroker's ticket, so it is. You can use it to redeem an article I've deposited there for you. There's no need to give a name, just hand over the ticket and tell the fiend the watchword. I've put a jewel in pawn for you. I'll fetch a good 10 guineas if you sell it, so it will. I've never heard of a pawnbrokery being used in quite that way before. Have you not, Mr. Graydon? London's pawnbrokeries are very useful places, you know. Each one is like an extremely secure vault. That's what all of them said. So I knew that if he'd taken steps to hide the disc, it would be in that pawnbrokery somewhere. And that on the night he killed my father, he must have entrusted the ticket to someone. Yes, to Gina. I remember now that when we first met, you had been the banks that afternoon 2 days ago. You had a description of Mrs. Trade written down. How did you know who you were looking for? From the trial, that pickpocket's testimony was clearly peculiar. Anyone could see that. I realized immediately that she was another of McGillded's pawns, and he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced it would be her who had the ticket. So I started to make some inquiries. I had a strong suspicion the girl would come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline. And he was absolutely right. And yes, sure enough, she did. All I needed to do was to wait until the girl went to the Windy Banks to redeem the articles. But unfortunately, she redeemed only McGillded's overcoat and the one disc that was in its pocket. The all-important music box with the second disc inside was missing, because it had already been forfeited 2 days earlier. But I was unaware of that fact. Had I not been, I could have avoided my nighttime excursion. Meanwhile, as the investigation into the stolen government secrets was progressing, we picked up on the fact that McGillded was involved. Inspector, you have recovered fast. My orders were to recover stolen information as quickly as possible, so we started gathering the fellow's possessions and examining whatever we could lay our hands on. We had a full-scale investigation going on at the yard, but we had to keep it as quiet as we could. Then, when the inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbrokery that day, I became nervous. I was sure the music box and the second disc were still there in the shop somewhere, so I knew that it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did. That's what prompted you to break into the place that same night. With the help of your old friends, the Skulkin brothers. What happened that night in the pawnbrokery, I can only describe as a nightmare. While Nash and Ringo were searching the counter, I located the music box I sold to McGillded on the shelves of forfeited articles. And the second disc was inside? Yes, I slipped it into my pocket with a very deep sigh of relief. But then, something entirely unexpected happened. What are you doing in my shop? Bang! A gunshot rang out in the shop, and I felt a very sharp pain in my left arm. The broker fired his gun, and the bullet pierced your limb. Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case. Bang! Before I knew what was happening, I'd fired back. That man had already turned to flee. I hadn't intended to fire in his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately for both of us, the bullet hit home. It struck him in the middle of his back as he fled through the storeroom door for refuge. A sorry, sorry tale. It all took place in the blink of an eye. I don't imagine Nash and Ringo even realized what had happened at first. I was terrified, so I fled. And that's the whole story. That's everything that happened at Windy Banks on that wretched night. God. This is what happens when you become too greedy. It leads to your really bad downfall in the worst way possible, and all the people you've loved have also like also gone through that downfall. I do feel kind of bad for him, but still. Earlier, he called McGilded a monster, a man who used his wealth and influence to distort the facts and escape justice for the crime of murder. What tragic irony. What you have done is exactly the same. Wow, that's true, Manzix. You have become the very monster you saw and despised so deeply in McGilded. Yes, I think I have. Well, this has been a long and exhausting trial. However, it would seem that at last we have arrived at the truth. Inspector Gregson, what of Mr. Ashley Graydon? He has been restrained, my lord, and is being escorted to the yard. He will be charged with the murder of Mr. Windybank and the stealing of government secrets. Very good. And you, Inspector? Regrettably, you will have to face charges yourself. Ah, Gregson. Yes, my lord, of course. It transpires that you were complicit in helping a criminal escape justice. That fact remains whether or not you were doing so in the line of duty. The crime is a serious one, Inspector, and inexcusable. Now to the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. Ah, yeah? It is time for the final adjudication. Is the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Yes, sir. Gary Depp Squadron standing by, sir. This really is it now. The last push, the final call, the finishing whistle. My men are ready to deliver their verdicts. Thank you, Mr. Foreman. Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You will now declare your final decisions to the court.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Yeah, let's go. Finally, it's
Guilty.
this
Not guilty.
case has been like almost 8
Not
hours
guilty.
more or more even. Let's go. Ha 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 ha! That's the stuff. I'm off the hook. But you might be charged for perjury, in my opinion. Finally, Bruno, you finally managed to do it. Finally is the word. I really wasn't sure if you'll come out on top for a while there. Susie was right. You're the best lawyer in the world. Miss Lestrade, I am not finished with you yet. Eh? What are you looking at me like that for? Before you start enjoying your freedom, there are certain other crimes to consider, Eh? 2 months ago, in my courtroom no less, you gave false testimony, did you not? And in relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Windybank's pawnbrokery, you also attempted to abscond with Mr. McGilda's property, it seems. Eh? I never done nothing like this, nothing of the sort. Of course not. It's not like you were gleefully wearing McGilda's coat in your cell yesterday or anything. Oh, and just when I was getting excited about throwing a party for Ginny this evening. And turning our attention to the defense. Determining that when played together, the music box disc contained a message in Morse code was... Well, it was certainly a most unexpected revelation, counsel. Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard. In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage here today. I propose a toast. Oh, you're being nice for once. Demanding that government secrets be disseminated before the entire courtroom. Eh? Oh, we're very sorry about that. It was the only way that I could get Inspector Gregson to admit to what he'd done, so... If I may say something on the point, isn't that... It's about the sound produced by the music box before. I do wonder if that was really Morse code at all. What? What are you saying, madam? Oh well, it's just that I'm really rather fanatical when it comes to Morse code, you see. So much so that the whole world seems to be covered in dots and dashes to me, in fact. Goodness, madam, an unhealthy level of obsession one feels. But I must say that in my opinion, the sound produced by those two discs were nothing more than that. A meaningless series of two different tones. What? What? Can that really be? It wasn't Morse code after all. Hmm. My lord, the defense would like to listen to the music box again. Are you off your nuts? How many times do I have to tell you? Those discs contain ministerial secrets, sunshine. This courtroom is not an appropriate forum to discuss the nature of the government communications. We know McGill conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies, secrets inquired from Mr. Graydon. Now that the man has admitted to his crimes, we have no need to pursue the matter further. But it's really going to bother me. Miss Lestrade. Yeah, my lord? That which we have seen today here in this courtroom has been extremely disturbing. Falsified evidence, intimidation, perjury, a grim catalogue of depravity. An appalling experience to befall any child. Come on, it ain't nothing I don't see most days in the back slums. I beg your pardon? If you're weak, you pay for it. That's just how life goes. Sheena. But look, I reckon I've worked something out today. The world ain't fair, but if you want it to change, you've got to start at home. You've got to change how you are yourself. Well, that's a very laudable lesson, I would say. I eagerly look forward to the born-again Miss Lestrade never gracing my courtroom with her presence again. Now, with regard to the murder of Mr. Bob Windybank, proprietor of a pawnbrokery business on Baker Street, I hereby declare defendant Miss Gina Lestrade not guilty! Woo! Let's go! Let's go! Finally! That was a long case. I think I've lost my voice. Oh! She's doing fireworks. That's cool. I'm happy that she's acting like a kid now. Thank God. That is all. That is all. Court is adjourned. Oh, we're finally done. Holy shit, man. Oh! Fancies? Are you gonna share a glass of wine with me? On a personal note, I must say you've surprised me, my Far Eastern friend. Oh! Despite being a Nipponese, you saw through the pretense to the malice that festered within that Englishman, and at the same time saw through the grime to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent for judging character, especially considering our very different cultures. I don't think there's anything curious about it. Whether we are from the Empire of Great Britain or the Empire of Japan. We're all human beings. We're not so very different on the inside. You know, I took this case for one very simple reason. To lock swords with you once again here in the court. So this, see, like Renosuke, has Kazuma and Van Zeeks. Oh my god, this is a hard decision to like choose between two guys who are incredibly both. But Kazuma's dead actually. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Maybe that's why I'll probably go with Lord Van Zeeks then, because my best friend is dead. Great! Just great. Because of some stupid Russian lady. I will never forget her. The Lockswood, okay, I said that part. You did? When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me of toasting friendship and trust with another Nipponese, only to find my trust betrayed. You had another Japanese friend, and he betrayed you. So now that's very distrustful of Nipponese, which is a very big stereotype of a whole nation, but whatever. Through you, I hope to look into the eyes of the man I once knew and try to understand. You mentioned something similar earlier today about total betrayal at the hands of the Japanese. What happened exactly? Well, you may ask. And one day, when the time comes, you will learn the answer, whether you like it or not. Alright, then I'll wait for that day if I must. Van Ziek's backstory when coming to be known as the Reaper of the Bailey and my retirement from service 5 years ago. It gives me cause to wonder if our meeting has some deeper purpose. So, farewell, my learned Nipponese fellow, until we meet again. So, oh my god, I'm gonna start shipping Renosuke with Lord Van Reeks, even though he's a piece of shit in the court. 17 April, 5:24 p.m. The Old Bailey, defendants antechamber. It's done. It's over at last. But where's Iris disappeared to? Hi, Gina. Ah, congratulations, Gina. I knew it all along. I knew that you were innocent. Don't be Sundre, man. Well, you did what you said, Mr. Naruto. You believed in me, right up to the end. You're as odd as your name. What's odd about it? I told you I had faith in you, didn't I? No one ever has before, see? Kept a promise, I mean, properly. That's awful. I figured something out today. All my life, growing up in the slums, I've never trusted no one. But that's just because I've been scared of being stabbed in the back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more it hurts when they let you down. Yes, I think I can understand that. After all, I had a taste of it in that trial 2 months ago. I chose to trust someone and paid for it. That betrayal left a big scar. You know, Gina, I worked something out quite recently too. Trusting in someone really is. Someone else is really an exercise in learning to trust yourself. And when your gut tells you it's the right thing to do and your trust is rewarded, there's no better feeling in the world. I think I have you to thank for reminding me of that valuable lesson. Oh, well, if you say so. Don't make a fat lot of sense to me though. I'm trying to say that putting my faith in you, Gina, has been a real pleasure. For crying out loud, pack it in. But I suppose I sort of feel the same way. I mean, sometimes trusting someone else is, alright. Thanks. This is the way I see it, Renosuke. Oh no. My other boyfriend has gone back as well. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. After this experience, I'm starting to feel like I understand what you mean. Kazuma, am I living up to your expectations? Am I turning out to be the lawyer you believed I could be? I hate these storylines. You're like the person you love the most is like dead, and then you are like doing like walking in the same steps that he was going to do, but his life was cut short, so you are taking the mantle for him. Oh my god. I hate that. Pardon the interruption. Oh, Sholmes! But what the deuce does a man have to do to be noticed around here, my dear fellow? Ah, that voice! It's too late for that voice now, Mr. Naruhodo. I've been standing here patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity. Ah ha ha ha! Yes, it was me all along, I would have said when finally you noticed me. But you people with your incessant babbling. Ah, Mr. Sholmes! Ah ha ha! Yes, it was me all along, you see? Sholmes, why are you like this? I had assumed you'd been taken back to the hospital, to be honest. Indeed I was, but I managed to escape again. Oh, I happen to be aware of one or two foibles of the doctor who was tending to me. I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he aptly issued me with a leave of absence. Ah, very above board. But enough of my adventures. That was a fine victory, Mr. Naruhodo. Your tireless efforts justly rewarded, I feel. Congratulations are in order. As a close friend, I tip my hat at you. Oh, thank you. Some great detective you are. Great at being cold as ice, maybe. Have I irked you in some way, Miss Lestrade? While you've been having a snooze in your nice soft bed, some of us have been fighting for our lives. Ah well, that bullet did cause me to lose a substantial amount of blood, it's true. So I have indeed been feeling somewhat cold, not perhaps as cold as ice, but, well, have a feel. Could you take your hands off my neck, please, Mr. Sholmes? And in some way, I suppose, congratulations are in order for you too, Miss Lestrade. What's that supposed to mean? Why so half-hearted? Well, naturally, it isn't my intention to alarm you, but... An acquittal in a trial with that particular prosecutor is perhaps a little precarious. Well done, Mr. Sholmes, not alarming in the slightest. Oh, the Reaper, you mean? For anyone who's found not guilty in a trial, he was working on winds up dead anyway, is that it? The very point I was trying to make. As exemplified by the fate of Mr. McGill in fact. Ah, but of course, I pay no attention to such irrational dribble myself. Yeah, thanks for scaring a kid, Sholmes. Yeah, well, it don't bother me. Oh, really? Of course not. The way I see it, the Reaper's a bit like I'm upstairs. Him upstairs? You mean like God? Yeah, I'm upstairs, knows what's what, right? He knows what people are like on the inside. He won't have got the wrong end of the stick. There are some coves like that bog trotter what are rotten to the core. At the end of the day, I'm upstairs, make sure they get what they deserve. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. It's a funny way to call God, I'm upstairs. Divine justice is one thing though, the Reaper taking matters into his own hand and claiming lives is another. Well, I ain't like the McGildeds of this world, so I ain't scared. I got principles, see? A trait in you which is to be admired, Miss Lestrade. Okay, I'm losing my voice. Oi, just give a rest, please. Alright, as I was saying, congratulations are in order. The news of acquittal was very welcome news to me indeed. Let me express my heartfelt congratulations, Gina. Well, there you are, Hurley. How long have you been there? Honestly, I went to the main entrance especially to meet you there. Ah, Iris, my dear, I do apologize. But wait until I tell you what happened. The pair made utter fools of themselves. What happened? As you know, I have a penchant for disguise. I was hiding in this room dressed as a bailiff. But these dolls didn't notice my presence at all. Ha 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 ha, they had no idea. Can you imagine, Iris? Would you credit it? I'm not sure really. I beg your pardon? I'm sorry, Hurley, but you just don't have the weighty presence you seem to think you have. In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's going to land you in trouble one day. I'll be careful. Oh my god, he's like a kid. Ouch. Anyway, it's such a shame. I was so hoping to throw a party with Ginny tonight. But you won't be able to come, will you? Don't look like I'm going to be nowhere for a while. You heard the judge spatter. I got stuff to make amends for apparently. All them offenses. And what was it again? Breaking and entering, taking the bog trotter stuff, was what was in lug, blah blah blah. Yes, I think you'll find that basically being a pickpocket is the main offense. But diving ain't an offense, it's a job, innit? I don't think so. Still, it has got me thinking all this. Maybe I should start looking for another line of work. I mean, you didn't start off as a lawyer, did you, Odo? Well, no, but I was never a pickpocket. Well, anyway, I reckon I could make a change. I'm gonna do something for all of them lot like me from the slums, something that makes a difference for him. That's a wonderful idea, Ginny. I'm sure you can do it. What is it? Aww. Nothing. Miss Gina Lestrade. The prison carriage has arrived, ma'am. Come with me to the rear gate at once. Right. Well, looks like I'm off then. Yes, goodbye, Gina, and good luck. Odo? Yes? Why are you going to shoot me? Ah! What was that for? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, so... Ah, indeed. Perhaps the situation calls for a phrase hitherto missing from your vocabulary, Miss Lestrade. Eh? On occasions such as this, I would recommend a simple thank you. Oh, oh yes, it's good advice, Ginny. Right, I see. Well, you can do it, Gina. Oh, thanks, Odo. Oh, she's finally. Oh my god, she's actually so pretty. Oh my god. Thank you for everything, what you've done, for believing in me. Oh, she looks so. Like, how do you say? Like, this is the first time she's smiling, like, genuinely. Oh, not at all. In fact, that should be my line. Thank you, Gina. Oh, I hope we see her again. She'll join our merry crew. Hehehe. Well, there she goes. I wonder if I'll ever see her again. Well, well, quite the indomitable big purse. Oh, I nearly forgot. I bought a paper outside. It's a special edition and this trial is all over the front page. Pickpocket's innocence proven. Isn't it wonderful? We should have shown it to Gina or Iris. She would have been thrilled. Oh no, how silly of me. Ah, but anyway, would you like the good news or the bad news? Not again. Well, what do you say, Bruno? Hurley? As usual, I think I'll rather get the bad news out of the way first. Absolutely not. I have no intention of listening to anything but good news. And there you have it. How people answer that question says a lot about them, doesn't it? Let's not go there. Alright then, maybe let's start with the good news this time. The rain has finally stopped. It was a record level of rainfall apparently. I need rainfall here, please. Well, that is good news indeed. We can journey back in greater comfort. Alright then, what's the bad news? The huge storm has left the seas very choppy. The channel in particular is awful, so sailings out of Dover has been delayed by a day or more. Wait, Dover? That's right. If we head to the station immediately, we may still make it in time to wave Susie off. Yay! But there won't be a train, surely. We couldn't be that lucky. Who do you think I am, Mr. Naruhodo? Mr. Sholmes? I rushed to Victoria Station earlier and made arrangements for a special express. If we hurry now, we shall be there in time for dinner. And I know of a fine restaurant that serves the most delicious baked sole. I don't... The great detective does it again! Indeed he does. I happen to be aware of a number of the rail transport director's foibles. Oh, what? I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man and he happily laid on the locomotive. Elementary. I'm basically blackmailing him. Just an idea, but it might be wise to stop manipulating people that way. What are we waiting for then? To London, Victoria. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go! Need to tell Siddhartha of the good news. 18th April, 5:32 a.m. Port of Dover. A quayside. 5:32 a.m. Jesus, man. That took somewhat longer than I had anticipated. Susie's boat must be about to leave now. Miss Zato, where are you? Oh, she's over there. Over there, look. It looks like she's reading something.
Hold it!
Hold it. Miss Zato, wait. What are you doing? Mr. Naruhodo, what are you doing here? We came as soon as we could after the trial. I mean, we heard that sailings were being delayed due to the bad weather, you see. Oh, I see. Then tell me, How did Gina's trial go? It went well. She was acquitted. Aww. That's wonderful. Really wonderful news. Okay, let's talk. The book you were about to throw into the sea. It was your encyclopedia of British law, wasn't it? Oh dear, I was hoping you hadn't seen that. I'm not worthy of practicing law in any way now. So I was saying my final farewell. You were saying goodbye to law? You, Suzato-san? Would I be correct in assuming it's because of the peephole, Miss Suzato? Bro, you helped us out, okay? I deliberately altered the scene of a crime, and then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable. That reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Susie? On the evening of the incident, Mr. Sholmes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember. Oh yes, we had a wonderful time. Well, Gina gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? To the art of pickpocketing, I mean. Oh, that was so much fun. I stole Bruno's armband. Yes, please don't do that again, Iris. That band's very important to me. Well, if it's so important, you should pay more attention to it. You didn't notice for ages. On a whim, I thought it would be fun to see if I could make a cat flap a bat, so I put it up my sleeve. Really? And then I rather forgot. How do you forget about that? Until I found myself in Mr. Windybank's shop with it later that night. I see. And then... bang! Oh, these two. Ah! Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo. Right. After Mr. Naruhodo had left the shop, I started to think. That door started to play on my mind. Storeroom door, you mean? Yes, if Gina was anywhere in the shop, I realized it could only be behind that door. And at that moment, the little device that I had up my sleeve sprang to mind. I was so worried about Gina, I simply had to know. So you used the cat flapper mat to make the peephole in the door. As captured in a photographic print of the shop. By one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. Indeed, it was of the first importance at that point. Precisely when the peephole was made, that information would prove to be Mr. Naruhodo's greatest weapon, though naturally without proof it would have amounted to nothing. But when I looked through the hole in the door, the sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. Thoughts started to run through my mind. I remembered that trial 2 months ago, the trial of Magnus McGilded. I thought about how he had manipulated the evidence and arranged false testimony to secure his freedom. It made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. And then a terrible thought occurred to me. What if some wicked criminal was trying to do the same thing now? Because from the appearance of the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Gina had shot Mr. Windybank. Even though I was sure she would never have done such a thing. You were worried that the true culprit would try to frame her for the crime? That's right, but then I realized it would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in this case. What do you mean? Well, the crime appeared to have happened behind the door of a locked room. For someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it, there have to be a way to see beyond the door. Ah! For which, a peephole would be the very thing. Only the peephole I had made wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. And the criminal would know that, so it wouldn't make any difference. But the possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not? A trap? Is that why she did it? So, is that why you kept a secret, Susie? You never mentioned that you made the peephole to anyone, not even to the police. I know, and I knew at the time what I was doing was wrong, a criminal offense even. That's why I decided to confide in Mr. Sholmes. If Mr. Naruhodo was completely backed into a corner, with no other possible means of escape, the truth about the peephole could save him. That was my plan. She does think of everything. But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began? My dear fellow, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade. Ah, you could have been disbarred if you had been seen to have knowingly tampered with the crime scene. So Miss Suzato decided to shoulder the burden of responsibility alone. For your sake, and Miss Lestrade's. Miss Suzato. Aww. The truth is, when it happened, I did it because I lost a little of my faith in the law. Oh, I was worried that the right person wouldn't be convicted of the crime, but the moment I allowed myself to think that is the moment I lost my right to call myself a judicial assistant. Oh, what you did is incomparable to what he did. Creighton is the one who lied in the witness stand, using that peephole as a way to implicate Gina. And besides, if the people inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm not at all sure she would have been acquitted in the end. Miss Suzato, what you did saved Gina's life. Let's go, Naruhodo. Explain it to Suzato. Well, with your kind words, Mr. Naruhodo, you've saved me too from my regrets. Aww. Please come back. Please come back soon. Well, we must all be thankful that Miss Lestrade's freedom has been assured. Yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends of the trial will continue to play on my mind, I'm sure. But the revelation that the music box contains secret messages, Mr. Naruhodo, what a time to work that out. I'm full of admiration. Well, actually, that argument wasn't quite as compelling as I thought it was. Oh, it wasn't? There was a communication officer among the jury members, you see, a telegraph operator, and she said that the majority of the sounds on disc were just meaningless tones. As one who would expect, after all, we're talking about secret government communications. No doubt they were written in to cipher to avoid being readily understood should they have been intercepted. In cipher, I see. Then we could never have hoped to understand the message anyway. Nonsense, my dear fellow. It's quite a zero-pi problem, I assure you. You have that caramel, copy of it. You have the caramel copy of it. Oh my god. Sogi. What? Well, that can't be a real word, can it? How funny. Wait, Iris, what did you just say? I just said Asogi. Cosmo? Does that word mean something to you? Mean something? Asogi was the name of my best friend. What? But how? How did you know that name, Iris? I wrote it down during the trial before when the message was playing on the music box. Is Asogi alive? Is Asogi alive? Asogi alive? Asogi alive? Asogi alive? This bitch has been lying to me this whole time. Kazuma Sogi, when I meet you, I wrote it down during the trial before when the message was playing on the music box. She transcribed it on the fly. She really is a genius. I thought the message probably wouldn't be written out in plain Morse code, so I tried various ways to interpret it. Whatever I tried, the words just didn't seem to make any sense. That is, in English at least. Oh. It suddenly occurred to me, you see, there's more than one Morse code, not just the English variety. Various countries around the world have altered and added to Morse code to use it in their own languages. I don't believe it. Are you saying? That's right. I have only actually seen a chart of Japanese Morse code once before, but I think it's based on the Iroha pentagram, isn't it? What's that? And you may see that in Japanese Morse code the message says Asogi. Yes, I think so. Sorry, but I don't remember all of the Japanese Morse code. You have done enough, kid. Iris, would you let me see that? Miss Suzato, do you know it? Do you know Japanese Morse code? Yes, I spent some time studying it. Because I'm quite sure Morse code will become ever more important for international communications. Then might I recommend, my dear madam, that you focus your efforts on the English version? Be that as it may, Iris, show me the message, please. Of course. But what can this possibly mean? Whatever is in that long sequence of supposedly meaningless dots and dashes, it's made the color drain from Suzato-san's face. There's no doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code. So the British Empire has been using Japanese for its secret communications. I don't understand the reason why, but the message appears to be a list of 4 people's names. 4 names. First is Kiyosogi Kazuma Sogi. Kazuma Sogi. Why? Why was his name on that disc? The second is Shin. Shin? I don't recognize that name. The third is T. Guregson. Gureguson. It sounds like a British name. Gregson? Oh yeah, Gregson! I'm an idiot! I'm an idiot! And it would seem Tobias Gregson is the third man on the list. And what's his name doing in a secret government communication as well? And the last name. What's the matter, Miss Susato? It's just so strange, so unexpected. Oh, what is it, Susie? Don't keep us in suspense. The last name is J. Wilson. John H. Wilson? What? Wilson? John H. Wilson. You mean Daddy? Sholmes? It says only J. Wilson, so I'm afraid I can't be sure. Then, after the 4 names, it reads, if I translate from Japanese, that is all 4. And that's the end of the message, or rather, the end of what you noted down, Iris. Just can't believe it. Who would ever have thought that those discs contain Japanese Morse code? Not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names. It would appear that this particular message is a communication of some kind between Great Britain and the Empire of Japan. So, Daddy could be in Japan then, where Susie and Bruno came from. Oh, well... no, it's not very likely really, is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with the surname Wilson, and there must be lots of J's among them. Professor John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. But we can't tell Iris about that now. We just can't. This is so strange. Somehow, in solving the case of Mr. Windybank's murder today, I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the month of a very dark cave. I do wonder if perhaps it's a dark cave that we shouldn't go wandering inside. Nah, we go in. We go all in. No! No! Oh dear, the ship is going to set sail soon. Yes, it seems so. I'll sail on that steamship first to the port of Dunkirk in France. Oh, Dunkirk. I hear a lot about you. Then I'll change onto a larger passenger vessel bound for Japan. Dunkirk in another few years is going to be a very big thing in World War II, at least. Really going then, Susie? We wish you a safe passage, Miss Sato. Thank you so much. I wish all of you the very best. Miss Sato, I had hoped to have you always at my side to guide me and support me. Mr. Naruhodo, please come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicious assistant in the world. Aww, these two are so cute. Oh, Suzato, you are 16. Oh god. I'm quite sure. I'll be back before you know it. They have, but I see them as a brother-sister relationship. Really, Susie? Oh, now don't forget, Iris. I made you a promise I've yet to fulfill. A promise? About your manuscript. Ah. Oh yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Well, I'll be waiting for you then, Susie. A promise is a promise. Definitely, Iris. Aww. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? Do you remember the first time we met? Yes, of course. On the SS Buria when I was dragged out from the wardrobe still half asleep. If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin with the Suzato takedown. You know very well that I'm talking about after that. It's strange, but being thrown together as we were in that case, I somehow felt straight away that you were the perfect person to continue Kazuma-sama's great legacy, Mr. Sato. And my instincts were right. I really want to believe. No, I'm sure that I'll be back soon. Farewell until then. Oh, who's going to be my right-hand man? It better be Shom than Iris. Oh, anime captain! Oh, yeah.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least.
Oh, this is the first game. Oh, I know that's the second game. Oh, this is the end.
Looking back now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey.
Aww. They're so cute, all of them. Oh my god. I want an anime. I want an
Fate
Ace
led me to
Attorney
becoming
anime.
a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective. I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead.
Trials and tribulations?
Of course there will. But whatever happens, I know
I
I'll be
want a
able to
great
turn
Ace
my
Attorney
fortunes
anime
around.
so bad. Oh, Shomes. With his... I forgot what it's called.
After all, I have the greatest friends in the world on my side.
Yay! Oh my god. Whew. Okay. Oh, Shomes. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, Mr. Shomes. I have some rather awkward news. The railway company has decided to sue over the special express train, apparently. What? Huh? It caused such a commotion on the line, all the other trains had to wait at stations. But really, we would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. I have to defend you. Anyway, I explained everything and how it was all your fault. What? Huh? I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. But not to worry, my dear fellow, according to Miss Zato, you love defending yourself in court. It's alright, I'm perfectly happy to testify. He really didn't look like the sort of man who would do something so outrageous. See? Sholmes, I'm gonna kill you. Mr. Sholmes? Yes? A word if you don't mind. Why, certainly, any word you like. Bellow it out, my dear fellow. Oh yes, I love Bruno's word, and I know just the one he'll use here. Objection! Then, I really must say...
Objection!
Objection! Oh, let's go. That was so much fun. Director Snare. Oh, I'm so happy. This went so well. I love this. I love these games so much. I'm so excited for the next game. Shomes. In the following weeks, hundreds of music boxes arrived at Baker Street from all over Europe. Something was afoot, so it transpired I had ordered them all myself. So I advertised them for sale with, used by Mr. Shomes to solve an important case. And the money I've earned. Consulting detective work pays a pittance by comparison. Shomes, I think you're my favorite character in the game. Even though you're a piece of annoyance, that's for sure. I haven't slept a wink. This manuscript is due tomorrow now. When I'm this busy, Hurley usually cooks me breakfast. Well, cooks is an overstatement for some dry toast and insipid coffee. I do miss Susie and her lovely Japanese breakfast. Oh, I want Japanese breakfast. I'm also getting hungry thinking about food. Oh god. Witness, your testimony is riddled with contradictions. Exactly! Rarely do rare command points hide under rare stakes themselves. Well, I don't know son knows his father is an innocent man, or are you calling my son a liar? Witnesses, my courtroom is no place for your petty arguments. These four, oh my god. Kusanaga, having to live with the Russian dancer to show in Shanghai, I laid low on the steamship for a while. But last night, I apprehended an extremely suspicious Japanese national on board. I've done nothing wrong. All I did was give Vagahai's offspring refuge in my pocket. A man brings some kittens on board and suddenly he's a hardened criminal. It's not fair. Oh, she's like, bro was trying to look after the kittens. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, but you didn't take Vagahai with you. Why? Why did you take only the kittens? Huh? Lord Strongheart, you are the end boss. Scientific investigation will be gold standard for policing in the new age. I dreamt of a world governed by the tenets of order and discipline. You are the end boss, like a great clock, in fact, with hundreds of parts meshed together in perfect unison. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have but 2 minutes and 30 seconds until my next appointment. He is 100%. He is going to be a pain in the ass in the final trial. He's going to be like the guy in the first Ace Attorney game in Case 5, after the Edgeworth case. The latest Strands magazine is out, and I'm in it again. Whenever I say that one line she wrote now, I get a standing ovation. Wanna hear it? What do you call it? Iris, you should have, not bad I suppose for an amateur. Iris, you should have really made him look bad for what he did with the court. At least for one book. Her leadership puts me to shame. This guy. Gregson, you are also kinda suspicious because you're in that Morse code. Been visiting the old girl on a daily basis, of course. Johnny, my old jailbird. Must say, battling with those bally stairs every day has done wonders for the dicky peg. Managing rather well with the housework too. Got this maid business taped up, I'll say. Hope the gossiping neighbors don't realize the man of the house is his own maid. Oh, that's not bad. That's cool. You're doing your own thing. I think that's really nice, to be very honest. He's a pretty cool guy. Most of the time. Oh! My Rolly's back on the beat again. All thanks to the Reaper. There's nothing I enjoy more these days than hunting out small change in the gutter. I'm a better Bobby now, looking out for Londoners, the drop halfpennies and my lovely wife. Aw, these two are very cute. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. Okay, one last time I'm okay with it. Aw, so cute, both of them. He looks like a nutcracker, in my opinion. Hi, Gina. Looks like I'm gonna be doing time for a bit now. But Iris comes every day for a natter, so it ain't too boring. He's always going on about all them cases what Holmes Sholmes is looking into. Criminal investigations are kind of interesting when you get into him. I hope you get out soon. Man, this music is awesome. Oh, you. Yes, I renounced my upbringing and chose a life of sophisticated crime. But regrets? Please. Give over, bruv. That ain't the Ash we used to know. We got time in here to plan the comeback of Milverton and Skulkin Milk Run, right? 3. Musky, what's it? Milking the neighborhood for all it's worth. Oh, that's how. Okay, I can see now all 3 of them. They're doing the same pose, but like in different. 2 of them back and 1 of them front. Hey, at least you are enjoying life with your friends, Ashley. This past 6 months has been a time I should remember forevermore. Painful goodbyes and wonderful encounters. I've come to realize that's what life is all about. Naruhodo-san, I promise. Your assistant will return to you one day. But for now, I leave you with many memories and a heartfelt wish that life will treat you well. Aww. Thank you. And now I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna miss her. I hope we see her more in the next game. Oh, this is so cute. Oh my god. This is so cute. This is so cute. Oh my god. What is this? Oh, so cute. Oh, it's just like their journey. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh, him being alone. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Kazuma, why do we have to leave? It's because of her. Nicolina. Oh, Slater with a sword. Are we going to meet Iris and Sholmes? Are you going to join us on a walk? Oh, that's so cute. Iris, join us. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god. If only Lord Van Peeks would also walk with us. Did you walk with us? Oh, dude, I love Ace Attorney. I love Ace Attorney so much, dude. Oh, these two. Oh my god, I'm going to. The Great Ace Attorney Adventures. We have one more game to go. I'm so excited. And also really sad because that's the next game and that's the only game. That is such a beautiful. What the fuck? They look so good. Oh god. Okay, we're done for today. Holy shit, I have spoken for the last 8 to 9 hours. And I'm surprised I haven't lost my voice because I have throat problems. I've been speaking for the last 9 hours. And it's definitely the videos are definitely going to be cut into parts. But what a journey, and it's not yet ended. We're still going to be playing it. I'm going to be playing it immensely. It's such a wonderful game. I'm so excited for the next part. What is the next part? Oh, the Great Ace Attorney to resolve. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, let's go. I think we're done for today. Bye bye, and thanks for watching.